I live in Manchester, in Ashton. Being in the city, there's always like something going on. Police cars, chaos, drama. Whereas being in the outdoors, it just made me appreciate things more and appreciate the quiet. It gives you more time to think about yourself and reflect. I was introduced to the outdoors at 13 years old, and my sister, she actually introduced me to youth club, and they started taking us out on walks. We had a weekend away in Wales and went up Snowdon, and that was kind of like my gateway to the outdoors. That moment wasn't until I got to the top and then sat down and looked at my surroundings, just absorbed everything and just took everything in. And then at that moment, that's when I realised the outdoors is for me, and that walk was everything I needed. And at the time, my house, we were going through quite a lot of stuff, so it's kind of like an escape for me at the same time, but I didn't realise that I needed that. When I first started walking myself, it kind of just made me realise that it only takes a walk for you to just express yourself and start talking about like your mental health and things that are going on at home or at school or at college. It just makes me really like grateful for where I've come from and where I'm at right now.
The outdoors distills life down into just, right, what do I need to do right now to keep myself surviving or thriving in the situation right here, right now? The definition of adventure is a journey with an unknown outcome. There's so many variables that might change, you just got to adapt to it.
The Outward Bound Trust is a charity that takes young people out in the wilderness, focusing on developing them as a person. So what skills can they develop here that will help them in the future?
We've got 4 centres across the UK, and we work with about 20,000 young people every year. If people don't have a love for the natural environment, they're not going to want to try and work hard to conserve it. The North Face have made a partnership with us at Outward Bound to create a young leaders programme. We wanted to identify young leaders in black, ethnic, minority groups to hopefully give them a career in the outdoors.
We had people that was representing like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India and Pakistan. And that was the whole point of the programme, to create more diversity in young leaders and into the outdoors, so people like myself can feel more welcomed and can feel safe. Younger girls, they look up to young leaders like myself. They can now see that like if we're doing it, then they can do it. I think it's quite inspiring because I've got younger sisters as well, and I'd want them to look up to someone like myself or like someone in the outdoors that is doing all these culturally different things that is acceptable and should be as well. Since I've finished our Young Leaders programme, I've been working as a youth worker from 8 to like 18-year-olds and working with them in the outdoors as well.
If young people can't see a leader that looks like them, then they won't think of that as a career that's viable for them. We're getting there, it's a really exciting time. Young girls coming into an Outward Bound course, having a role model or someone that's similar to them is really powerful. They see someone carrying big heavy bags, they see someone coming along with the canoes and being the technical person that's got all these skills. That can be really empowering for these young girls to see a strong woman come along and show them that it's not just a man's job.
What I love about working with young people is that used to be me, and I was that 13-year-old girl that was so confused about what I want to do, and I had all these things going on at home, and just slowly in little steps I got that side out of me, and then just seeing that if I could do that, even though I had quite a few struggles, anybody else could do it in my position, and I can now pass that same feeling on to other people.
With what's been done so far with the Young Leaders Project, it's given me hope, especially after COVID pandemic and with pressing matters coming up in terms of the climate crisis. We think it's more important than ever that young people have the chance to develop some resilience, and the outdoors offers a really good platform for that. If we foster that love for the outdoors and for the natural environment, we'll then hopefully learn to conserve it well.
I've after these 7-8 months, I've now decided to go to university to study education, psychology and counselling and introduced to the outdoors. And having that side of things has made me realise that it sits well together. I'm quite excited for the future, being a South Asian girl, representing that in the outdoors and then wanting to become a counsellor and working with young people or young adults, introducing the outdoors to them as well. And then just seeing little changes. There's more of that in the future, so that's why I'm really looking forward to it.